Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Donkeys and Demos. You're here with the kid, Jeremy Vareo, and this is Helix Heavies, Episode 2. Stick around. Alright y'all, Episode 2 of Helix Heavies. Today's episode is inspired by the recorded tones of Peter Tägtgren of the band Hypocrisy. Peter's also responsible for the band's Pain, The Abyss. He's been in Bloodbath. He's been in a band called Lockup. He's guest musicianed on a whole ton of albums, as well as been a producer on albums from bands such as Dimmu Borgir, Marduk. Who the hell? What's that band called with the pentagrams? Dark Funeral. Yeah, a whole slew of very, very well-regarded death and black metal bands. But I've always been a fan of Peter's tones. I got into Hypocrisy maybe around 1994 and been a fan ever since. The guy's just a phenomenal songwriter, just sick guitar player. When it comes to the gear that Peter uses for recording, most of what I could find out is Sansamp PSA-1 preamp by Tech 21, which makes a lot of sense when I think about his guitar tones. I initially thought it was probably like, the metal zone or the heavy metal, into a Marshall to get that classic Swedish buzzsaw, but nope. PSA-1 he's used quite a bit on albums. He's used rectifiers, he's used Marshalls, JVMs. I know he definitely seems to be a fan of the 1960 cabs with the 75 speakers. So I just kind of was thinking about his tone and came up with what you guys are going to hear here. Anyway, we're going to take a listen to the patch in a full mix context, right? Because that's what this is. We are recreating a mixed tone from Hypocrisy. And then we'll go ahead and do a playthrough as well, and I'll walk through all the blocks in the patch and explain kind of how I put it together. I don't know what that means. Big shout out to my buddy James Dean Booth from the Helix Metal group. He's also on the regular Helix family of products group that's 20,000 plus members strong now. I think he goes slumming there on occasion. James was cool enough to throw down some kick-ass vocals on this for me, and also he made this a lot more fun than my last Helix Heavies, which was the Motley Crue one. Anyway, so again, huge thanks to James. I guess worth mentioning, this is the guitar that I used for the bulk of the recordings. It's an Ibanez Prestige RGD. It's either 3127 or 3217. I don't know. I get it backwards. It doesn't really matter. There's also some Schecter KM7 peppered in there. So yeah. Anyway, let's get to the full mix.
Will now be tasted, but I can remember to again. Bitterness
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the patch. We're going to walk through all of the blocks. We're going to walk through kind of how I set things up, talk about the cabs, talk about the amp. It's really a pretty simple patch, pretty straightforward. You'll see that there's a couple of snapshots in there. I've got one for the Ibanez. I've got one for the Schecter as well that's EQ'd a little bit differently. The Schecter actually recorded a little bit louder. It was weird. So I had some makeup gain in a volume block on here for the Ibanez. Yeah, you know what, whatever. Let's just take a look at it. So here is, oh, you know what? I can touch my screen, so let's do that. So here is HX Edit. And let's go ahead and, you know, we'll turn off some of these guys. Or will we? Yeah. There's gonna be cues. That's not on, none of that's on, none of that's on. And the speakers are on. So, first thing we started with is the Cali rectifier, because I know Peter, you know, seems to be a fan of the rectifiers. I've seen him use them live quite a few times, or at least on videos, and it is reported that he's used them in the studio. So I went with that. I didn't think it was a very martially tone. It kind of reminded me of a Goose Recto, so that's what I went for. And for speakers, I used two 75 cabinets. I used the 1960 to 75 cab with 421, which I love. And then I used the Uber 75, right, just for a little bit of a different flavor, and with a 57 on it. I did not use any lower high cuts on these cabs in Helix, and this tone is going to be fairly lackluster right now, I'll just tell you that. Oh, let's turn this guy off. Nobody's using that sound. Again, on this snapshot, I did do not even a 1 dB boost, just to level out this between this and the Schecter. Garbage. Did throw a low and high cut on here, and you can see that the the settings are not super extreme. Low and high cuts seem to be a very personal thing for people, and I, again, did this for recording. Any of the EQ that I really did, I adjusted in my DAW. You guys can set these however you like once you get the patch. And I should mention, I also set these after adding the secret sauce, which is this heavy distortion in the legacy overdrive section, because it was the closest thing I could find to a heavy metal. It's the Boss Metal Zone, and you can see you've got it set up differently for snapshots. But to get from that tubby mess to Swedish awesome, that's pretty much the tone right there. I mean, that's this pedal really is all you needed. That's the tone. So really, that's where, you know, you guys can come through and mess with the low and high cuts more. You can adjust, you know, add early reflections if you want. You can tweak the amp to, you know, whatever works for you. You can see some of the differences here. I don't know, I'm still stuck using the mouse. I'm not used to the touchscreen. On the Schecter, which is Rhythm S, you can see where the values change. And then if we, you know, go back to the, really? That's why I don't use it. Go back to the Ibanez. The only other thing that I did in here for the solo, there is a harmony lead in here. I'm going to turn this off. I double tracked the harmonies in the solo for the full mix, but I know nothing about theory, so I just did a whole bunch of poking around until I figured out what sounded closest. But for the lead patch, there is some simple delay. There is room reverb, and then also a dB boost of about 3.6. Well, not about 3.6, it's exactly 3.6. So here's... that little last run. Turn the twin harmony on. You get the... it sounds pretty close. Garbage. Anyway, so that's the patch. Like I said, pretty straightforward, pretty simple, and get that thing layered up on a couple of tracks. I think I did 3 tracks total, 1 left, 1 right, 1 center, and it sounds brutal. So that's it. All right, guys, so there you had it. That was my attempt at recreating, I don't know why I keep doing this. That was my attempt at recreating a recorded tone based off of sounds from Peter Tägtgren and the band Hypocrisy. I think it worked out really, really well. I'm really, really happy with the way it sounds in the mix. Again, not a, you know, the tone by itself, I don't know, but mixed and layered, it sounds bitchin'. Thank you guys for checking out the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you can put this patch to good use. I'll put a link for it down in the description so you guys can go to Custom Tone and download it. Thanks again to James Dean Booth for throwing down the vocals and doing the sick car karaoke. You'll definitely see more from James in future Helix Heavies videos. Dude's a hoot. And, you know, again, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this out. And let me know if there are some tones that you'd like to see me take a stab at. I got some cool stuff coming up from, like, everything from Volbeat and the Scorpions and Judas Priest, Classic Priest, you know, all the way up to Thy Art Is Murder, Stylosis, and some really, really heavy stuff. And maybe some cheesy, you know, Bullet for My Valentine. I don't know. We'll do some cool stuff. But anyway, I really enjoy doing these videos. I hope you guys like the series, and I hope you come back for more. Peace!